Hey everyone, it's your girl Olympia D, and of course, welcome to another edition of Hey Girl, Let's Talk. Today we're talking about where the money resides. Now we're always talking about investing and we're always talking about saving your money, but a lot of people are like, Olympia, how do you even get to that point? Because some of us are working a regular 9 to 5. Well, I got some ladies here with us that not only work a 9 to 5, but they also have a side hustle to help them increase their earning potential and also increase their opportunities of being able to do those side fundings for investments and other opportunities as well. So today we have with us Ms. Veronica Hodges and also Nate Alicia. Now, Veronica, go ahead and tell us, what is your 9 to 5 and what's your side hustle?
Okay, well, currently I'm a medical auditor. So I audit charts from 9 to 5, and I do a little bit of physician education as well. But I would say my side hustle, which really is not a side hustle, is more so my purpose and my passion that is evolving to not only a 9 to 5, but just what I will be doing around the clock, 7 days a week. It may not be 9 to 5 or whenever I want to. I am the owner of the Radiant Reiki Room. And the Radiant Reiki Room is a Reiki practice and life coach practice that includes holistic stress management and then just helping people get through life. So that's what I do as what you call a side hustle, but really it's more of what I'm here for. And we'll talk about more of that later.
All right. That's your purpose. All right, Nate, Alicia, talk to us. What is your 9 to 5 and what's your side hustle?
So just like Veronica, I am a medical auditor from 9 to 5. I audit physician charts. And my side hustle is I'm an esthetician. And so I'm the owner of Divine Hands Aesthetics down in Lawrenceville, Georgia. So I am busy. So I work from 9 to 5. And then I try to get in as many clients as I can up until about 8 o'clock at night. And the next day I start over and do the same thing. And then my weekends are swamped. And then Monday morning, back on my 9 to 5, and then back on my hustle.
I feel you on that because I kind of go through that same process. Of course, you know, guys, we buy, sell, and invest in real estate. And also I have my side hustle of a voiceover company, Media Mind Productions. So I agree with you. We're always 100% busy here, there, and everywhere, trying to get to the paper. You know what I mean? So, you know, my question has always been, and I always ask other women this, how do you balance everything? The family, because we all have families, husbands, and all that good stuff. How do you balance all of that? Now, Nate Alicia, I'll let you go first since you were saying how you're busy every day of the week. Huh?
So for me, a lot of days, I get started at 4 o'clock in the morning. So I wake up at 4. I leave at 4:30, going to climb the mountain. Okay. So I'm usually back here around 6. I come, I make the kids breakfast. Then I have to take them to school. And then once I do that, I come home and then I start to work.
Hold on. I did I hear you say you climb the mountain? So you actually go hiking in the mornings?
I do.
Girl,
it's amazing.
We don't do that on the weekend.
You know what? You really could, because listen, when you get to the top of that mountain and the sun is coming up and you just taking in everything, and you know, I get up there and I meditate, I write in my grateful journal, and I just be still. That really helps me get through my entire day. Okay. Like when it rains, I don't go because the mountain is real slippery. And the last time I tried to be grown and go, I failed twice. So I learned my lesson from that. So
we can't be doing that. We can't be doing that. No.
But yeah, like when I can tell it's a huge difference from when I don't do it versus when I do it. Okay. And so, and I just love being outside anyway. And so when I get, and then it takes me away from reality just for a couple of hours. Because when I get back, I have the kids, I have this dog, and it's just a lot. It's a lot, from running to dropping them off at school to having to pick them up from practice and the different clubs that they're in, and then trying to work and then trying to see clients.
Right.
I am just waiting on the day that divine hands and status will be my only source of income.
Yeah, we're going to go ahead and put that into the atmosphere. Release.
Exactly.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, Veronica, talk to us. How do you balance everything? Because I know you're always on the go, always on the go. You know, we meet up on Saturdays. We do mountain climbing on Saturdays, and we do our walks and stuff like that. I always told her, like, every weekend, it feels like we're like Dora Explorers out. We're just doing different things. And she got me up in the mountains. We on the Greenway. We're just doing a whole bunch of stuff. So how do you balance everything, V?
The thing that we all have in common, and that most women need to have, if you're going to do the grind, if you're going to have the grind and have the shine, you got to do you first. So that's what I'm hearing is our common theme. We are doing self-care. So in the mornings, I get up, I have to meditate, I have to pray, and I have to work out in some shape, form, or fashion. If I don't do those things, my day will be all over the place. So sometimes when I find myself being irritated, even with the kids, because kids are going to be kids. Yeah. They're going to call your name every 5 minutes. They're going to ask you for things. They can have the best dad in the world, right? Oh, yeah.
But nobody's like mama.
Right.
Exactly.
You are the source of everything. So when I find myself being irritated with my kids, which is something that most people who hustle and grind, you're going to get irritated. My most irritated time is when I don't give myself. I have to give myself that time. And for me, I have to give God that time. And I have to also ask all the angels that are available to help me through this day, because the juggle and the balance is real. When you're working all day, but you also have a whole passion. I keep a journal with me all day, because when you're working, something may come to in your mind that you can't get to right then. And I write things down that I need to do for my business or businesses, because as you know, I believe in streams. I believe that dreams create streams, right? You just got to pay attention to your dreams. Right. So like what we have in common, and even the things that we do on the weekends, Olympia, even like the nature walk we took, that grounded me for a whole 2 weeks, you know? So those things, self-care is the key to making sure you're grounded when you're dealing with all of these different parts of life.
Right. And you know what? Everybody, they always ask, you know, how do you find your side hustle? How was it for you, Nay, Alicia, finding your side hustle? How did that even come to you? Because I understand that you're in the healthcare field and you're doing audits, but you're also an esthetician. I can't say it. And so how did you even get to that point? What was that process for you?
You know what? It took, I feel like it took a long time.
Okay.
Every day, and Veronica can attest to this, I used to be like, I'm supposed to be doing this. Every single day, I would always say, God, this is not what I'm supposed to be doing. I don't supposed to be doing this. And I could never figure it out, ever. And then one day, I got up and I was like, I think I want to be an esthetician. And when I said that, things just started to fall into place. Like everything was really, really easy. I wouldn't say easy, because it took, like, it was a journey.
Right.
But it wasn't a bumpy journey. Like everything was smooth. Everything kind of landed into place. And then I started to, something was shaking up inside of me. And I was like, this is it. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. And when I discovered like this was it, I registered for school. I started going to school, and then I had mishaps, like I had to have a major surgery, but I was still doing everything to hone my skills. Like I started taking other classes. I started taking advanced classes. I started doing like workshops, and everyone who is in my circle was like, girl, you ain't never worked this hard before in your life. And
right. And that's how it is sometimes.
Yeah, so when they said that, I said, you know what? Because this is what I am meant to do. And so it I was driving from Georgia to North Carolina every weekend to go to school. I was, staying over, having to get the kids situated. And again, it was just easy. It was easy. And so
I always say when it's something that you're destined to do, or if it's something that you're supposed to do, it kind of flow. It has a flow to it. It kind of it's easy to follow. And also when you're doing stuff that you really want to do, it never seems like work. It never seems like a sacrifice. Exactly. For me, even coming into real estate, it was something that I had always wanted to do. And when I had the opportunity to do it, I kind of jumped in it. Both feet, arms, legs, everything just went straight into it. It's been very good for me. As far as, Media Mind Productions, having my own production company and doing voiceovers for different companies or different clients, that was something that just kind of came with ease. It was something that I did naturally. And it wasn't even intended to be a business. It was something that, was like, hey, can you voice this for me? And I'll pay you this. And I was like, yeah, you voice it and you send it over. And then all of a sudden you start realizing, like, hold on. We can make a little bit more money out of this. So then you put everything together to make it flow. But for you, Veronica, how did you get to your side hustle? What was that process for you?
Okay, so I've always been like this person. When I'm talking to someone, or even when I'm listening, I can hear the back end of the story.
Right.
That's just something that I've always had the ability to do, right? I never understood, though, that was my ability. I always thought, well, why this person, if you got all this, well, why are you not doing this? Or if you're doing, I just thought that's what everybody had. Until one day, one of my friends said, Veronica, stop that. Everybody don't see things like you see things. And so this is your thing. I'm like, whatever. So, but long story short, I am also a renegade. As everyone that knows me know that I'm a 100%. I'm not going to ever mark with somebody else's cadence. I'm gonna have my own drum line, even if I'm in the band, because I need to be. That's not my band. So when you're working on a job, because we were trained to go to college and get a job, get a good quote unquote good job. But when you have a good job and you make good money and you still like, hey, wait a minute, this right here is not working for me. You have to ask yourself, is it the job or is it you?
Right. That's
and
true.
I came to the conclusion that it was never the job. It was me. I was never created to work on the job. It was a means for me to finance. It was a means of money flow to make sure that I can finance what I'm here for. So Reiki, life coaching. I'm also in graduate school for clinical mental health counseling, because that is my thing. I listen, I can hear, and I understand. And I'm not going to judge. You can tell me that you are purple, you identify as purple and fell off the tree, and now you're yellow. Well, you know what? I'm going to roll with you with your yellow. But we're going to also figure out what's happening, and to get you to a place where you can be green today, yellow tomorrow, blue, purple, and everything else. You can do all of the colors. It doesn't really matter. So that's how I came to this, and it feels right. It's hard to work 9 to 5.
I understand that.
Very hard.
So with us, having all these different side hustles and doing the things that we do, what are you investing in, or what other side businesses are you actually pouring into, Nealicia?
I dabble in a lot of different investments. And right now I am sort of kind of invested.
Put it out, girl. Tell us.
So my nephew is starting up his own finance company. Okay. And I am currently helping him, as much as I can with him doing that. And that's pretty much it. And just for the regular investing that I do, when someone will put a bug in my ear and say, hey, you need to jump on this or you need to jump on that. But for the most part, that's about it. Because I honestly don't have time for anything else.
Well, I'll be honest with you. That's how it really started for me. You know, someone was like, hey, you need to make sure you invest in Cardano. And it started with the Bitcoin. And I was like, okay, I ain't really sure about this. And it's like, for me, where most women might spend $100 on a brand new pair of shoes or a purse, I'm like, ooh, let me take this little 100 and we about to go.
Okay.
So, you know, that's where it started. It started by word of mouth. And then, you know, it just kind of started to grow. So then I picked up, you remember when a couple of months ago, Peloton said that they were doing a collaboration with United Healthcare. So I picked up a few stocks with those, and, you know, it just kind of grew. Make sure I got me some Apple and, you know, just different things like that. So I think investing is really on everybody's radar right now, because people realize that they can make a lot of money in the stock market, but there's also some of the things that you can invest your time and your energy into as well, like real estate, flipping properties, or even Airbnb is like really, really big right now, because during this pandemic, everybody wants to go somewhere else. And if you got a place that you're not using and you can fix it up really nice, and you can use that money to fund some other things, it's like, yeah, you can stay there, throw me a few hundred and we good, boo. Veronica, tell me about some of your other businesses that you're funding, or any investments that you're making as well.
I see investing as just like exercising and building the muscle.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't have any muscle in it, you know what? You learn first how to do biceps, how to do triceps. And you know what? After a while, you know how to tone and lean out. So for me, I like to listen, and I like to be around and talk to, just like this whole conversation. It's just here again. I'm just hearing that we have our ear in one door, our toe in the other one, our arm in the other one, and our leg in the other one, right? Yeah. So we're learning how to move in this investment world. And this is the best time to learn when you're transitioning from a 9-to-5 to full-time entrepreneurship, because we have to make sure that we share this information with our children, if they're children. So for me, the stock market is something that I dibble and dabble in. You know, I feel like, and I know that during this pandemic, it's hard. It's a hard time for people. But if you invested in the stock market when the pandemic first started, you did.
You Gucci, baby.
Yes.
Yeah.
So like, even
I remember that conversation we had, V, and remember we were talking about the cruise lines, and we were like,
Carnival. Carnival.
Yeah, we need to make sure we get some of this right here, because pretty soon it's gonna go up. And I think Carnival was what? It went down to like maybe, So right now it's like 32, 35. You can make a few coins off of that. You know what I mean?
All right. So we invested in Carnival. Let's just put it out there. That's what we did, right? But we had these conversations.
Don't hold back. Tell the truth.
Okay. So we did. Not only that, Olympia, you know that I really want to. I don't want to be a real estate agent. I don't, right?
Right.
But I understand the concept of equity.
Right.
So we have to educate each other. You have real estate. You have a house. If you have equity and you pull that equity out, like do what we call a refi,
a HELOC,
guess what? You're not going to get taxed on that money. So these are the things that we need to make sure that we understand and we teach it. So, you know, my next move is to buy properties. I don't care if it's an inch of grass. It'll be mine with a deed, with my name on that deed, because that inch of grass might be $2 in 2021 and $500,000 in 2030. So we have to understand that our financial portfolio will grow as we grow. We just got to continue to do that. And like you, somebody may want to spend $1,200 on a Louis Vuitton bag.
Right.
I'm going to turn the other way and take that $1,200 and put it on something else and get me a cute bag from Ross and I'll be fine. A $6.99 bag, because I know that $1,200 that I put somewhere else is going to grow. And I will tell you too, keep young people, even though we're younger people in your circle. I have cousins who are day traders. So 2019. My cousin's like, girl, don't you want to buy some Ripple? And I was like, what is that? That sounds crazy. But I got $500 on it, you know. So it was 33 cents.
Right. And see, and that's what I'm saying. And if you go back and you look at it, what it is right now,
I looked back at it like a couple of months ago, it was $1.71 per share.
Right. So let me ask you a question. So we all have children. What are we teaching our children as far as finances? Are we preparing them for the future? Are we showing them what we have going on? Because I try my best to pull Ladybug and I'm like, look, you like to use all of these different products. Let me show you how much these products are. And my favorite app is really Robinhood. I love Robinhood because you don't even have to, if the stock is $187, you don't have to invest $187. You can take your little $20 and you just buy you a few pieces of stock. You know what I'm saying? And guess what? That little piece is going to grow, but people don't understand that. So what are you guys teaching your kids about finances? And also, instead of buying those $220 sneakers, that you might want to put a little bit of money to the side for, you know, your favorite stocks. Nea Alicia.
Well, also both of my boys are on Robinhood as well. And they are on another app. I can't even think.
Is it Acorn?
If you wouldn't have never
Coinbase, Stash.
It's not Stash. It's something, but it's something like Stash. So it takes money from them every day, like very insignificant amount of money from them. But they've been doing that. I know my oldest son been doing it since he was in middle school, and he have a couple of $1,000s in his little account now.
His account ain't little. Don't discredit his account.
I mean, you know what?
That's big.
That's big. It's big. And my youngest son, it's the same. I'm gonna have to figure out what the Appy is, but
is that something that you had to make them do, or is it something that they did on their own?
Actually, my nephew signed them up for it because I was looking at their account and I kept saying, "What is this? Why are they taking 52 cents or 80 cents or 75 cents?" And my son was like, "Oh, it's just a savings app."
Oh.
And I was like, "Oh, okay." Because they both have accounts and they both have savings accounts, and so when I give them money, they have to save. So they'll take some and put in their savings account, and then they'll take some and they'll buy stock in Robinhood, and then we'll all sit down and discuss, like, did we make a profit? Did we lose anything? Or in E-Trade as well. So those are the three accounts that the boys use.
Okay.
And I pretty much use the same thing as well. And like I said, someone will call and say, "Hey, you need to put some money into this." And I think I made the majority of my money pork skins.
Pork skins.
Yeah.
Oh, you down deep in a country.
Pork skins. My brother called me and he was like, "Hey, sister, you need to put some money in this right today." And I was like, "Oh, okay, I guess I can scrape up a couple of $100s." And I did really, really good on.
Look, I'm gonna call you after this show. You gotta give me more than that. I want that. We gotta figure that one out for sure. All right, V. What about your babies? What are you teaching your babies as far as finances are concerned?
Okay, so my youngest is 7, and she watches me. Like I have to kind of really watch what I do around her because she is like on my heels, right? My son, but the older your kids get, it seems like they listen to other people more so than you, right?
Until you see the money. That's Ladybug. She want to see. Let me see. Oh,
yeah,
okay,
right,
okay. Let's see.
Right. So I have younger cousins. And I was like, call your cousin and see what you got to do with the stock, so I know you got to have people in position to help your kids, because mom is not too cool at some point, and they don't want to listen to them, especially since the boys kind of move a little different. They start getting this swag, start looking at the waves, and when that starts happening, you're not too cool in what you're saying. So I kind of set brother man up. I set you up. I'm gonna set you all the way up. So I asked him to call my cousin, my younger. He's a day trader. He's in his 20s. He's the cool big cousin, right? So now my son's like, "So mom, what's up with my custodial stock account? I already watched this video. So what we're going to do within the next couple of weeks, I am going to take him to an investment company that has custodial accounts. And you can start off with 500, you can start off with 200, and he will discuss everything with the financial advisor. I'm going to be hands off. He'll be able to watch it. He'll be able to call and ask questions. And he's 13. So I'm like, by the time you turn 18, dude, you can pay for your own college.
There you go. Boom.
Okay. You can kind of just do so. I just know that kids, and we can't be frustrated with kids that don't want to listen to their parents, because we were kids at one point too, and we thought our parents didn't know.
Right. We've been
so
there.
What you do is you slide in some people in your crew to help you give the information that they need.
Right. Now we're going to wrap this thing up in a few more minutes. So for anyone that is out there listening and they're like, okay, I want to start me a side hustle, what advice would you give them? V, I'll let you go first.
I would say, do not look to your left. Do not look to your right. Don't look at anybody and what they're doing. Mm-hmm. Close your eyes, get centered, because everything you need is in your hands.
Oh,
we
wow.
were all designed for a purpose, right? Mm-hmm. And sometimes we discount what we like. If you like fashion, guess what? Nobody likes to shop anymore. You can be a personal shopper and someone. If somebody said, Veronica, I'm starting a shopping business, please come on and come help me out, because I don't even like going to the store anymore. And Amazon don't have all the cute stuff that I need. So, or if you like hair, who says you have to be a cosmetologist to make wigs? Make the wigs. If you like the braid, go ahead and get your natural hair care license. It won't take you that long. Everything you need is within you. You have to sit for a moment, be quiet, evaluate your circle. If you're around people that are always talking negative, oh, you're not going, you know what? Those are not the people that you need to grow.
Right.
Those are people that you go to the cookout with and eat a hot dog with, right? Those are not the people you share your dreams with. You share your dreams with people who are dreaming and who are moving and who are activating. You got to go within. It's there. Every stream of income that you need, you already got it. You just got to tap into it.
All right, Miss Nate Alicia.
I don't even think I need to say anything after that. She pretty much summed it up. I will say that be mindful of the people that you have around you when you start to take your journey, when you start to figure out what your side hustle is, because just as quickly as you come up with your plan and you start to execute your plan, if you have the wrong people around you, they can make you feel like you're crazy because you want to step out on your own and you want to start making your own money and not work for someone. They'll have you thinking you losing your mind because they're employees and you're an entrepreneur. So right. I'll just say, surround yourself with like-minded people. And if you're the smartest person in your group, you need another group.
Look, you took my tagline.
Oh, you know what? I just remembered the app is called Rainy Day.
Rainy Day.
Rainy
okay,
day.
But definitely we're gonna have to make sure we log on and check that out. And I'm gonna be calling you about them poor skins. I need Look, you guys, I thank you guys so much for joining us for another edition of Hey Girl, Let's Talk, Where the Money Resides. I really do appreciate you guys. And I thank you guys so much for joining me on this conversation. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, so don't forget this episode is going to run on all of our platforms: Mix 107.9, 92.7 The Block, Praise 100.9, and of course 105.3 R&B. I am your girl Olympia D. Thank you so much for joining us today, and of course make sure you stay tuned for next week's edition of Hey Girl, Let's Talk.